Welcome back to the Motor Index, folks. And well, today we've got a little bit of a standings report heading into the final three races of the regular season. We've got the regular season championship, Cutline getting spicy, and we've got the Cutline to get into the playoffs getting just as spicy, if not more spicy. So we've got a lot to discuss here because a lot of people in contention, some very bizarre storylines surrounding this, and some things to kind of keep in mind as we head into these few weeks. We've got some wild card tracks that could potentially throw a monkey wrench into all of this. So, lots and lots of things to keep in mind the next 3 weeks. Lots of storylines being created by the format that everybody hates. So, let's get right on into it. So, regular season points, points championship, that is. William Byron leaves Iowa the points leader after his win. And coming home in second in that leaving Iowa is Chase Elliott, who entered Iowa with the lead. He leaves Iowa minus 18 to William Byron at the front. Then you've got Kyle Larson at minus 45. You have Denny Hamlin minus 51. Christopher Bell minus 86. And Tyler Reddick at minus 97. I think all six of those guys have a shot. In reality, I think probably the top four only have a shot. Yeah, I think this is probably the best 4 cars in Cup at this point, if we're being honest. I mean, trying to think of who else. I mean, Ryan Blaney, maybe. Yeah, I think those are the best 4 cars in Cup. I really don't have another explanation for that. Yeah, I think if I'm being honest, I think William Byron probably does win it. I think he's been the best car consistently all year. You can make the argument for Denny Hamlin or Chase Elliott even, though Elliott's race-winning speed is probably more of a new phenomenon this year than a season-long phenomenon. And you can make the argument for William Byron. The last few weeks have not been as good. I actually didn't even get into this stat in my I just recorded at the Iowa recap, but the stat is William Byron, prior to Iowa, the first 15 races of the season, in 10 of them, he finished 6th or better, winning the Daytona 500, obviously. But in 10 of the first 15 races, he finished 6th or better. Then since then, only twice he had finished in the top 10, both of which came at a road course. So, concerning, yes, though how concerning, I don't know, because, you got Watkins Glen next week. He could even just win there. But he'll probably run pretty dang well if he doesn't win. Richmond, very similar to the track he just won at tonight. And then Daytona, where he won the Daytona 500 this season. So, unless Chase Elliott, the battle's going to be between the 300 cars. I think Denny Hamlin will probably have to win at Richmond to have a shot going into Daytona, because I don't think he'll win at Watkins Glen or, frankly, be a contender. But I think Hamlin's really dangerous to win at Richmond. Could be a huge factor in the regular season championship. Chase Elliott, I think, is the most consistent. Kyle Larson is, he's in a slump. How big of a slump? Subjective. I think that's a subjective topic, because, some people say he's in a slump, but he's finishing top 10 every week. So, I don't know. Yeah, he's certainly in a slump for Kyle Larson's standards and race-winning speed standards. I expect race-winning speed every single weekend from the 5-car. Maybe last week at Indy, he had race-winning speed, but other than that, hard to remember the last time I saw race-winning speed from the 5-car on an oval. It's concerning. How concerning, I don't know. But I think this is really decided between Byron, Elliott, and Hamlin at this point. And I think it's going to probably be Byron, though Chase Elliott, with his consistency, could be a real dark horse for that. Dark horse, he's second. Could have a legit shot at beating Byron. And then Bell, I just think the point situation is going to be too tough. If he was to rattle off 2 straight wins, maybe, but I don't see that probably happening, especially with the current speed that they've got. I mean, it's just been a weird summer for the 20 team. I don't know what it's been. Uh, I mean, they've kind of also done this sometimes where they start off pretty decent, maybe not winning every race like they did at the beginning of the year, but then in the summer they kind of just go away. And it's just weird. I think this also kind of plays into that narrative as we're always in the playoffs and everybody's like, oh, nobody's talking about Christopher Bell. And it's like, well, you just kind of entered the playoffs on a low streak and then just suddenly shot back up in the playoffs, sort of like Joey Logano, just tends to run better throughout at least more than just the playoffs of the season. Um, I don't know. Bell's a weird case. I don't know what to think of Bell's season at this point. Certainly at the beginning, I thought he was a championship favorite, but that's the point. That's what makes NASCAR racing such an interesting sport. Is that it doesn't matter. You got to be good every single week because things build up. But any week can change anything. That's kind of the love. That's the great nature of this sport. So we'll see. One of the I don't know if this is an indictment on the playoff format or if this is cool or not. I can't tell. But Tyler Reddick could either win the points championship or not even make the playoffs at this moment. So that's interesting. Tyler Reddick is sixth in the regular season championship standings, 97 points back of Byron, but he's plus 122 to the cut line. And look, he's probably, as long as there's not three other winners, he's fine. He is perfectly fine. But, like I said, I don't know if I said this in this video. I think I said this in my Iowa preview or recap, that I think RFK could win every single race the rest of the way of the regular season. They've had that much speed and been that good at these specific tracks, specifically the past few years. But the speed recently has just been fantastic for the team as a whole. So I'm not going to say RFK is going to win every race the next 3 weeks, but I think they get one. I think they absolutely are going to get one. And I kind of feel like it's going to be next week at Watkins Glen. I think Buescher might do it again, but we'll see. We will see. But that point being, we got Tyler Reddick, though. Could either be the points champion or he could be not even in the playoffs. Pretty wild stuff for him. But like I said, he should be fine. I don't think there's going to be three more winners. Two, maybe. I certainly could be two. I would be very... you don't want to be Tyler Reddick. Let's just say that. You'd rather just get the win. Alex Bowman plus 63 as the 15 seed currently if it ended today. The speed's been good. I mean, recently. And if you've been watching my videos, I've been saying, how this season's went. It was like really high for Bowman, and then it was really bad for a stretch there, and now it's starting to kind of tick back up a little bit. We'll see if it results in him making the playoffs. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. He's been great on the road courses, which would suggest Watkins Glen. He's won at Richmond before, if I'm not mistaken. And then Daytona, anything can happen at Daytona. Yeah, could win, could easily not make the playoffs. That's the thing with this cut line that everybody wants to get rid of is, there's a lot of uncertainty and storylines to follow with this cut line and the regular season championship. How many storylines do we have to create for people to be satisfied? That's what I've got to say. But yeah, so Bowman 15th, Buescher 16th. Like I mentioned, RFK can win every single race the rest of the way. I'm spoiler alert, I'm probably going to pick him next week. And I think he's got a good shot to win if SVG doesn't kill everybody, which he might, but we'll see. And then just below the cut line is not Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece at minus 23. So that is some big time playoff drama between two teammates right on the cut line. I would argue Preece's season, I mean, I don't know, the points obviously don't suggest that, but I would say Preece has impressed me more. Is that the right word? I don't want to say better because he's not technically by the stats better in the standings. And I mean, they're neck and neck, but Preece has been great. I mean, great for Preece's standards, if you will. I came into the season saying, Priest this is going to be the best opportunity he's got in Cup so far, and potentially ever. You got to make the most of it, and he certainly made the most of it, showing why he's a Cup Series capable driver. I think Priest is going to get in. I don't know what it is. I think I could see a Daytona. I really, really could see Daytona. Really could. But even Richmond, that's very much like Iowa from this evening. Um, so yeah, will be interesting. Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch is at minus 73 to the cut line, just below Priest. If he's got anything like that Austin Dillon car at from Iowa, he's gonna have a shot in the next few weeks. Probably gonna be, if I'm being honest, it's gonna be Daytona. I don't think there's any other way. Uh, yeah, he's had some road course speed at points this season, but not enough for me to pick him next week, and certainly not enough short track speed for me to pick him at Richmond. Though he's been really good at Daytona. For Christ's sake, we know how last year ended at Daytona in the summer race. Was this close to getting it done. So we'll see with Kyle Busch. I can't sit here and say he's gonna make it. I can't. But I really would like to see him prove that wrong, and because I think it would make the playoffs a little bit more interesting. Just having a guy like Kyle Busch in there, even if he gets eliminated in the first round, I think you know if he can bring some speed like RCR had at the end of last season into the playoffs, maybe he's able to squeak into the round of 12, and then who knows after that. Um, I don't know. It's an interesting situation with Busch. Hard crash, by the way, in practice on Saturday, was it? Huge, huge hit. And now that could play into factor. I don't know how Kyle Busch feels. Kyle Busch is not getting any younger. As you get older, those hits have a lot more, those hurt more. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see on Kyle Busch. But Ty Gibbs is below him at minus 87. At points today at Iowa, he was up front, but never with race winning speed. Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna need a win. Maybe I struggle to say at Watkins Glen, but they're Daytona. They're Daytona. I mean, yeah. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. The speed's been better. That's for sure. Better is certainly what it has been, but race winning better, no. And then AJ Allmendinger is the last guy who I think maybe could get in on points if things got crazy. But I do think AJ Allmendinger's got a shot to win probably next week and at I don't think at Daytona, but certainly next week is a great shot with the road course. But yeah, going to need a win if you're AJ Allmendinger. Was running in the top 10 though this week at Iowa. So who knows? Maybe Richmond's in the cards. I don't know. It's win. You got to win though. If you're AJ Allmendinger, you've absolutely got to win. So yeah, I think that's all we've got for you guys on the standings report today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned heading into Watkins Glen this week. Take care, y'all. God bless.